Welcome to another edition of Timoteo TV, breaking down week 1. We are excited about this season. Had a great week of scrimmages last week, but the real deal's coming up. As most of you know, our games now are going to be at Lighthouse Field on Erie Avenue, right across from St. Chris Hospital, and they're going to be at 3 o'clock and 4:30. So make sure you're checking the website to find out what time your game is or the team that you're coming to root for, so you're there on time and can enjoy the game. So let me get to it. Let me introduce who I got here with me. As usual, I got Buddy Martinez, coach of the Packers. We have our guest expert. We have Chris Lar, as usual. Oh, and sorry, Eric. My bad. Eric from the Panthers. And Chris Lar from the Panthers. So we got a little bit of a Panther Nation represented here. And, breaking it down. So we got some great games this week. Let's start it off with possibly the best game of the week. It's the game for the 3 o'clock slot. It's the game of the week. It's a rematch of the Urban Bowl this last year. Cowboys versus Eagles. This is huge. Formerly known as the Redskins, as we know. Cowboys won the last 2 times, in the Urban Bowl, beating the Eagles. So what's going to happen this time, Chris?
Well, as you know, this year a little bit different at Lighthouse because we actually have 3 games going on at once, instead of 2 games. And so this is going to be the game of the week for the first time slot, right? The Cowboys Eagles. And I did a little research, and I found that last year, right, the Cowboys Eagles also played week 1. And the Cowboys, formerly known as the Redskins, beat them 45-14. But I named it earlier. There's the Cowboy curse, right? The curse of the Cowboys, which I'm guaranteeing a loss for the Cowboys this week. They're cursed so bad, they even lost to the lowly Little Sisters of the Poor, a.k.a. Panthers, this last week. And I think this week I'm calling it, I think this year things are going to flip. And I'm going to call the Eagles are going to spank the Cowboys 45-14.
Wow. What do you have, Eric?
They're switching.
What's happening?
Well, as Chris mentioned that the Cowboys looked a little flat against the Panthers in the preseason game. But the Panthers came out strong, and we can't take anything from the Panthers this year. They got a great coaching staff. The talent is phenomenal this year. I think they're comparable to the Redskins of last year. But like Chris said, the Cowboys, it's a Cowboy curse. I mean, they got Jerry Jones over there. So I'm actually going with the Cowboys, though, this year, losing to the Eagles. No, let me rephrase that. The Cowboys beating Ness's Eagles 24-18.
Oh, wow,
Eagle
buddy.
Curse.
Yeah, buddy. So what do you think?
When you look at this game, you just have to look at the matchups. You know what I mean? They're both incredibly talented. You got Leroy, Wesley, Teddy. These guys over there. Jimmy, and then on the Cowboys side, you have Randall, Quentin, Dion. You know what I mean? Reggie. This is going to be a good game. Clearly. And I got the Cowboys edging them out because the Eagles usually start off slow. I got the Cowboys winning 32-27.
Wow. All right. Yeah, and the Eagles in their exhibition game had a down to the wire one with the Cardinals and pulled it out right at the end. So see if they can keep that up, build on that momentum. Next 3 o'clock game. Panthers versus Colts. 2 teams didn't make the playoffs last year. What's happened in this game? Who's going to start off their season with a win?
Yeah, well, this one is a tale of 2 preseasons. The Colts lost to the Raiders, whereas the Panthers surprisingly beat the Cowboys. Now, the thing is that in reality, the Panthers are the Little Sisters of the Poor no more. I want to introduce you to the Panther 2 defense, which you'll see unveiled and unleashed upon their opponents this year. And but the ultimate thing that this week 1, I'm going to call it the Seth factor, right? Seth Ortiz left the Colts to join the mighty Panthers, right? And this past week, we did our verse, right? The verse about the cost of following Jesus and that. And we talked about the cost of getting to the Urban Bowl. And sometimes it's difficult, right? And we said sometimes it costs you blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes.
And it didn't take long doing that angle drill. We've had Seth Ortiz coming across and swarmed George and got a knee and cracked his jaw in 2 places, broken. So we're dedicating this first week to Seth Ortiz, and there's no way the Seth factor will empower the Panthers to beat the Colts this week, 25-12.
Wow. Eric, what do you have to say?
Well, I'm going to be strictly biased here, Nate.
At least you're up front.
Yes. I'm going to go with my Panthers. And I'm not saying that the Colts are not a tough team. They got a lot of good talent over there, good coaching staff. But I'm going to go with the Panthers with a score of 30-12. That Tampa 2 defense is nothing to be messed with this year. You'll see what I'm talking about. The Panther 2. Panther 2.
There we go. Buddy, you're going to go along? It's going to be a sweep here?
Well, everyone's getting all excited in this one preseason game, but just remind everyone, it's a preseason, all right? They marched like 3 or 4 different quarterbacks out there. The fact of the matter is the Panthers' offense is just as fragile as Seth's jaw, all right? All right, so we're going to see, the Colts this year, I think they've been laying in the weeds just waiting to make a statement. I think they're going to make a statement this week against the Panthers. The Colts being led by Stephen Knight and Chris Garcia, I think are going to put a spanking up on the Panthers. And I think Panther 2 defense. Panthers don't play defense. Where they get 2 sacks last year. Colts in a blowout. I got them winning 27-6.
Wow. All right.
So you tell
See what happened. Well, let's go to our last 3 o'clock game here. We have a rematch of the first week of the playoffs last year. 49ers Vikings. Vikings, as we know, upset the 49ers first week of the playoffs, just shattered their dreams. Mike Medina, future Hall of Famer, had to go out on a bad note. So the 49ers, they're going to come out strong. They're going to revenge this loss from last year. Vikings should have had a bad showing in the preseason. What do you think?
Who's Mike Medina? That's what I have to say. Wow. You don't have to worry about Mike Medina no more because they have feelings, right? And I'm telling you, they've had such a hatred inside of them over the last few months. It's been brewing and brewing. And first of all, are you serious? How can the Vikings, I don't care who they count out there, lose to the Lions, right? How are you going to let the Lions beat you at anything, right? So I feel like this is going to be an embarrassing week for the Vikings and a beginning of a long road. And I think the 49ers have a lot to advance for, and they're going to squeak out the win 51-12. Blowout.
Wow. Eric, what do you think?
Well, I agree with Chris, saying who is Mike Medina. He's gone now. He was their star quarterback last year. But, hey, it's a new season. It's a new season. And I think, going by what the preseason games look like, yeah, the Vikings looked a little flat. No, let's be serious. They looked a lot flat against the Lions. Come on, Carlos. Come on. So I'm going to go with the 49ers in a close one, 20-18.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Well, in this game here, it looked like the Vikings are rebuilding. They had Hector, I don't know if that's his nephew or who the little guy was out there throwing passes. Moses, he looked pretty good. He looked like he has a lot of potential. But it looked like he just has to kind of get the kinks out until he gets warmed up. I don't think the Vikings are done this year. I just think they're going to get better towards the end of the season. And I think the 49ers right now, they're flying pretty high behind Felix and David Garcia over there. Vikings, they always play good defense. They're calling it a G-fence over there now. But since Gio's the one in charge of that, I don't think that's going to go too well neither. So I got the 49ers winning this one 30-18.
Ooh. All right, that preseason game us had some things. All our experts are picking the 49ers to win that one. So those are our 3 o'clock games. Come back and join us as we break down our 4:30 games, and we'll see you in just a little bit.